everyone. I am Blair Bryant with the Steller Group real estate company out of Centennial, Colorado. We are here to give you weekly updates on what is happening in the market as we go through a national crisis, and more locally, our stay-at-home orders here in Colorado. What does it mean for real estate? What is actually happening on the ground here changes week to week and really day to day. So our goal with these videos is to give you a snapshot on what's happening, what to expect as things move forward, and then more importantly, what to do if you are downsizing, if you're thinking of downsizing in 2020. We are a real estate group that specializes in everything downsizing, from what to do with your stuff, to where to go, and how to time it all out. And in the links below, you're going to see a series of other videos that deal with those subjects. So we are a real estate group that works all the way to Erie, to the north, all the way south down to Castle Rock. We've worked down in Larkspur. We work all the way out to Parker, Elizabeth. The reason our real estate group's all over the metro area is because we are a team of specialists. A team of specialists that work with not only seniors, but folks who are moving into Denver and want to know how to best reciprocate on their number one asset, which is their house, or find that perfect house to live in. So over the next few weeks, we're gonna give you some ideas on what to do as you sit and wait this thing out. So number one, let's go to the stats that came out this week from the Denver Metro Area Realtors Association. The end of month data is always important because it gives us a look on what's happening in the market. So this data represents all 11 counties in and around Denver, and it reflects closings, what's under contract, what's come on the market, and what's been pulled off the market. The good news first, home prices are up. They're up 7% year on year. So from 2019 to 2020, we've already gained 7% since that time. We are a cyclical market. So typically we see these high prices being set in March, April, May, and June. And then over the course of the summer and the fall, we pull back on pricing. We saw an incredibly great seller season here in Denver for January, February, and March of 2020. And that was really driven by inventory. In some of my previous videos, we talked about how inventory drives pricing. A balanced market in Denver typically would be about 16,000 homes on the market at one given time. Well, we've been hovering at about 5,000 homes in the market since we got into the new year. The stats that we saw come out here just a couple days ago point to about 20% more homes on the market. And that's typical to this time of year. And remember, even 20% more doesn't represent a significant shift from seller's market to buyer's market. Getting into some of these things, we're seeing change with the COVID-19 and the stay-at-home measures that were issued by the governor. We are seeing some new guidelines that are coming out from the Attorney General this week that speak to showings. Of course, open houses are something that have gone away since the stay-at-home orders went in place. And these things continue to change week to week, day to day. What I will say is that everything that's under contract is continuing towards closing. People, in fact, are still listing their houses and buyers are still out there. We're just having to accommodate to the constraints of the stay-at-home measures. The number one directive we have is to social distance. So that is what we as a company are adhering to. But we do have houses that are going on the market. A couple of our agents had houses go on the market last week. Some of those houses went under contract with 3 or 4 showings max. We do see buyers and sellers in general are pulling out of the market right now. I've been using the analogy with a lot of my clients about the fact that I grew up in Florida, and in Florida we have hurricanes. This feels a lot like a hurricane, because when a hurricane's coming, you have the part where you're worrying about it as it comes in, then you really hunker down when that hurricane's over top you. And sometimes those hurricanes are over top you for hours, sometimes a half a day. And one thing you don't do is you don't figure out what's going to happen after the hurricane until the hurricane's passed. And right now we're kind of in that season of COVID-19. So what we do know is that the long-term dynamics in Denver are all very, very healthy. We're very blessed to live in an economy and in a state that's very, very diversified. That's not true all across the nation. So all these indicators point to the fact that once the stay-at-home orders are lifted here in Colorado and we resume back to a life as normal, the dynamics of really low inventory and diversified economy are going to pop our economy and our housing market back into gear. So click down on the next link because we're going to talk about a little bit about downsizing. Particularly, we're going to talk about right-sizing buying options.